Fred, has administration looked at the 1.5 and what would be the next step of what would be some potential cuts?
We haven't addressed that as such a thing. 2 years from now, here's what we've gotten, do we have a list? No. But a lot of it is driven by what happens here. If you can argue that the 500 or 580 savings, and yeah, it'll wiggle a little bit, but not dramatically. It's not going to be a net of 200,000 or 800,000. If it's $500,000 even, we keep dropping this down to be conservative, but it's each year you're saving that amount. Now, would you need to add some other staff? Well, we've already figured some of the, to get to the 500, we've already assumed that we're adding some other staff. And so, yes, you would do some of that, but it compounds. So if you had 500 savings one year and you're not doing it the next, now you've got 500 savings each year because that's a permanent type cut. So now the cut isn't as big. So some of our concern here is, well, what's the target? It depends on what you decide to do right now. If you decide, yes, we're doing that, and the savings is 500, now over 2 years we've saved $1 million, now we're looking at another 500,000. Different target than if you wait and try to do the whole $1.5 million. You have an issue of what other levels, what other kind of programs. I think if you're doing this in elementary, I think from this point on, you're gonna say, look, we gotta look at the secondary, and that's where this is gonna be. If you decide, nope, we're keeping all the elementary schools as they are, then the only thing we can turn to is district-wide, and where all the district-wide, it's when the kids are in middle school, high school, district level. So assumption is depends a lot on what you decide here, and then we focus on these other areas. But it's going to be an effect on what happens in the secondary from this point on, from what you decide. But no, there's not a list ready. It's going to be back looking at programs. So how many can we cut? Are there things that we can move out? Do we make all co-curriculars self-supporting? Got to pay to play is the way it's said in some places.
What are those